Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring.
By holy angels. Number two, God's plan of how he was going to get Jesus into the earth. It was planned. Number one, it was prophesied. Number two, the whole thing was orchestrated, and it was planned because his birth was miraculous. God shows up and says, you got nothing to do with having him. As a matter of fact, you got nothing to do with naming him. Thou shalt have a son. Thou shalt call his name Jesus. In other words, because we would have messed some stuff up. But how many of you know when God is working in your life, he is behind the scenes, because angels are ministering spirits. They minister for the saints. If God leave it up to us, we'll mess some stuff up. But God got angels in your life right now. That's why your life ain't as bad as it really could be, because angels been watching over you. Oh, help me, Holy Ghost. Now the angels have been watching over you. All night and all day, angels keep watching over me. Hallelujah. God got his angels watching over you. So it was a plan, y'all, that God already had in place. And God is so wise. Luke 1 verse 30 says, the angel came and said to Mary, Mary, be not afraid. Thou hast found favor. Somebody shout favor. You have found favor with God. And anytime favor is on your life, God has put some unexplainable stuff on your life. Folks don't know how you got the job you got, how you driving what you drive, how you living how you living, how you paying your bills, and everybody will say, he put somebody shout favor. And when favor is on your life, folks don't understand what's on your life. But tell two people, don't try to understand it. I got favor on me. You ought to give God another praise right there. And tell your neighbor behind you, I got favor all over me. Favor, somebody shout favor, favor, favor. Somebody shout favor, favor, favor. On your job, you got favor. At home, you got favor. When you go to the dealership, you get favor. When you walk in the mall, you get favor. Everywhere you go, nothing but favor rests on you. God put favor on you. Tell your neighbor, God put favor on you. God put some favor on you. God is so wise that God won't let nobody mess this thing up. Be careful when you don't understand the plan of God, because God will have to do some things to make sure that you don't mess up what God's trying to do. Case in point, when Jesus was getting ready to be born, God said, before I deal with Mary, I better go over here and deal with Elizabeth now. Let me tell you something, because before Jesus can come, his cousin John the Baptist got to come first. Because how many of you know everything in your life is depending on something that's happening? In other words, I can't get to Highway 411 till I get on Golden Route. Y'all don't want to have church with me. Something got to happen before God can do what he really want to do. So God said, before I deal with Jesus and Mary and Joseph, let me go over here and deal with Elizabeth and Zechariah and John the Baptist. He said, because Zechariah ain't got enough faith to believe that in his old age he can have a son, because his wife is called barren. But I'm about to open some stuff up in here. I wish I had somebody here right now. And so he comes to Zechariah, and he begins to tell them it's almost time for Jesus to be born. But Zach, I know you don't have enough faith, and I'm not going to trust you to mess up what I'm trying to do in your life. I'm about to give you a son, boy, and you ain't going to understand it. So tell you what, Zach, until he's born, I got to shut your mouth up. I wish I had somebody here right now. God closed up Zechariah's mouth because he knew Zechariah didn't have enough faith to believe that God could open up Elizabeth's womb when she was up in her old age. So God had to close his mouth because he couldn't understand how he could be a priest, but his son was going to be a wild man. How many of you know God don't always move like you think he's going to move? God don't always deal with us the same way, because his daddy was a priest inside the church, but John the Baptist was out in the street preaching to people with wild honey and locusts and sandals and camel hair all over his body. Tell your neighbor, ain't no telling what God going to do in your life. Just tell him, whatever God tell you to do, just do it. Whatever God speaks to you, just believe it. I know you ain't got enough money, I know you ain't got enough faith, but whatever God says to you, just believe it and give him praise, somebody. After 22 years, that the devil was coming trying to take me out. Somebody shout January 17th. On February 17th, your boy got sick and had to go to the hospital, preach Mr. Leon's funeral. That same day, went to the church to hear Brother Stephen Jones preach. Same night, went to the doctor that night, and the doctor told me I had to be hospitalized. Somebody shout February 17th. January 17th, she had a dream. February 17th, I was in the hospital. March 17th, she was preaching on a Sunday and pulling all this stuff together, trying to understand, because when God's speaking in your life, it don't make no sense. And so the other day, I went there and told him, I'm not coming back. I'm resigning, man. It's time for me to do full-time ministry. We ain't got no ministry yet, y'all. Ministry just not getting ready to start. Y'all better help me give him praise. Came to church that night, and I didn't even know it until one of them told me, Pastor, did you know that the day was the 17th? What does 17 mean? 17 means victory in Jesus Christ. I wish I had somebody here right now. Tell your neighbor, God about to do some stuff in your life that you ain't gonna even understand. Tell me it ain't gonna make no sense. It ain't gonna line up. People have enough money to do it, but if you believe God, go ahead and stand up and give God a praise right now. I believe God. I need to be in the jail. I need to be in St. Clair. I need to be down there lying. I need to be in there witnessing to some of them brothers. Some of y'all don't want to go. I need to be in the nursing home. I need to be in the rehab center. I wish I had somebody right now that would give God a praise right there. So we just had to obey God. So God said, let me shut Zechariah's mouth, because he ain't gonna understand how I'm finna allow Elizabeth to have a baby because she's too old. And if I don't shut his mouth, he gonna mess up the blessing. Tell your neighbors and neighbor, be careful what you say. You may mess up a blessing. Yeah, because that blessing depending on somebody else's blessing depending on your blessing. I wish I had somebody here right now. How many know whenever God gives you something, he's trying to get it through you? And so he had his mouth shut for 9 months until Elizabeth had the baby. And even when the baby was born, he didn't even know what the baby name. They had to write it down because he was going to mess the baby name up. And when God asked him what his name was going to be, he had to write it down on paper and name that baby John. How many of you know God about to do some stuff in your life that folks not going to understand? Lean on your neighbor and tell him, you don't understand my next blessing now. Tell him, you don't understand my next wave of blessing. You ain't going to understand how God did it. It ain't going to be my job. It ain't going to be my education. It ain't going to be who I know. It's going to be because the King of glory is in my life. Somebody help me give God another praise right now. So, yeah, Zach wasn't going to understand, so God had to shut his mouth until the baby was come, because Elizabeth was old. She was already barren, and so in order to make her pregnant, God had to send the angels down. Good God Almighty, Gabriel had to come. Gabriel is the talking angel. He don't know how to fight, y'all. He's just the talking angel. He's just the angel God used when he want to give you a word. God got Michael when he need to fight in your life, but Gabriel comes to talk to you because he's the word angel. Isn't it wonderful to know that God has angels who will come down and talk to you? I wish I had somebody here right now. And so the same angel that talked to Zechariah and talked to Elizabeth, the same angel came and began to talk to Mary and let her know that, guess what, Mary, thou hast found favor with God, and thou shalt bring forth a son. Now, she wasn't doubting God. She just wanted to know. How many of you the same way? It's not that